What's up YouTube? Austin coming at you with Vaporleaf.com. Today we're going to be talking about the Wismec RX75. This is a fantastic little device, has a lot of nice cool features to it. I mean, look at that. So let's go ahead and take a dive down in and see what you're getting with this guy. Alright, here we are down and close with the Wismec Reuleaux RX75. Let's go ahead and pop the top off there. So you're going to get the device, your user's manual, and then a ridiculously large box for what you get inside of it. You have a charge cable, micro USB. I believe that can also be used as an update cable. Then you're going to get couple little screws and then a translucent screen. I'm not sure how well we'll be able to actually I have perfect idea on how to show you that. Let me pull my keys out here and you can see right through that, and that'll all make sense in just a second here. Getting back to the device here, so like I said, this is a really cool device, so we'll go over some of the features here. So you have a recessed 510. Now that is a downside in some regards because you can't fit anything larger than 22mm on here. You have your charge port right there. You have a little bit of venting on the sides as well as the bottom. Then your screen, you just open this door and you have your screen right there. Now that is what the translucent door is for, so you can see through it, which I'm not sure. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Yeah, there we go. You can see through that there, so you can just go ahead and unscrew that, screw that door on, and then you can see the screen while that door is closed. But that's a beautiful part about this, is you don't really need to do any locks or anything like that. You just close that up, which it's held in by a magnet, so that's not gonna come open, and your buttons aren't going to get pressed there. Now you'll say, well, what about the fire button? Now this, I've always loved this type of fire button, is a grip fire. So all that you do is you just squeeze that and it fires it, and I'll show you here. You can see no atomizer. And that is also your battery door right there, just once again held in magnetically, but that little button right there is going to activate it. So you just throw that on and you just squeeze it to fire. Now this switch up top, you just flick that over and now it's locked, so it can't fire. So the way it is right now, you can throw that in your pocket, your purse, wherever you would like to throw it, and that will not get adjusted no matter what you do to it unless you flip that over and hit the fire button or pull that down and adjust it. So you do have your wattage right there as far as the screen goes. So it is in a wattage mode at the moment. Let's see if we can get some better focus on you. The screen doesn't normally shake like that. That's just the camera communicating with the screen poorly. So we have 50 watts, you have your voltage, your resistance, your puffs, and your amps, and then obviously your battery meter down there. Click the fire button 3 times. Let me get that back up. 1, 2, 3. And that'll start flashing. And then we can just see here. We have bypass, which will just use the voltage of the battery. You have temperature nickel, temperature titanium, stainless steel, and then TCR M1. And then if we hit the left button here, you'll be able to do M2 and M3 and then back to M1. You can change your wattage in any of the temp control modes. You can lock your resistance, and you can change between puff counter, time, and what is that? PCB. Unfortunately, I do not know what PCB is. When we jump back up, I'll go ahead and look to see what in the world that means. But I am just using a Canthal build, so we will go ahead and go back to the variable wattage there. So let me talk about the TCR real quickly. So that stands for temperature coefficient of resistance, which is essentially like a custom temp control mode. So to set that, because they're all preset at 120, And I will leave a list in the description of what you want to set all the TCRs to for the various metals: nickel, titanium, stainless steel, nickel iron, stuff like that. Stay in focus for me, baby. I'll get you closer then. Okay, so if we turn the device off though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oop. Need to do it a little bit quicker than that. Sorry about that. Then if we hit the fire button and the right button simultaneously, it'll pull up your menu here. So that does have to be off, and then you hit the fire button and that. And so right now I can cycle through M1, M2, and M3. If we hit the fire button, it'll go over. And like I said, they are all set at 120 at the moment. And so you can set them all to what you need to, it needs to be set at, depending on what metal you're using. Once again, like I said, I will go ahead and throw all that information in the description. Let's go ahead and turn this back on. So like I said, held in by magnets, that just holds closed right there. You have your USB port right there. You can update it or charge it through there. Your battery door, which this is a little counterintuitive. Your spring load is going to be your positive down at the bottom there, so you'll take the positive contact there and just slide her right in and then pop that together. There's really no other... Oh, hold on just a second. You can't really lock the resistance or anything like that. Pardon me, not lock the resistance. So you can do a key lock to where it won't adjust, but really I find no usefulness in that when you can just close that up and it won't adjust anything. We'll go ahead and do key unlock real quick. And there's stealth on. And I apologize about that. The screen just went blurry. I'm having a little bit of an issue with that today, and I just hit the wrong button because this is upside down. But if you hit the fire button and your left button, it will cycle in and out of stealth, which stealth, if you don't know, is, while it's on, you can go through all of your adjustments and everything. But when you hit the fire button, the screen will just be blank. Once again, I kind of find that is a somewhat useless useless feature, because you can just close that. If you don't like it, just close that up, you won't see it. And really, with an OLED screen, you are really not saving any battery life whatsoever. So, alright, let's go ahead and jump back up and we will finish this guy up. Alright, so like I was saying, that was the RX75 from Wismec. I did look that up. The PCB is printed circuit board temperature. So that 98 was telling me that the temperature of the board is 98 degrees. That is actually a fairly useful thing, especially if you're going to be using a dripper on this. With it being recessed like that, that dripper is going to heat this whole device up, and you don't want to get the PCB board too hot. PCB printed circuit board, pardon me. So you can see that it does recess it, and I am using a top airflow tank on this. That's not generally necessary. You can use bottom airflow, which it does have a spring-loaded pin, so you might want to set it to where the air flows on the sides here instead of back there and up here. Though, not that you'll really be able to see it too well, but there is a slight gap right there. Like I was saying, you can only fit 22 millimeter and smaller on this. So if you have those 25, 28, 30, or if in the case of the Alliance, what is it, like a 48 millimeter, those will not be able to fit on here. But the mass, the general mass of tanks and drippers out there are going to be that 22 millimeter or smaller at the moment. So using any of those on this device will work fantastically. And that just fits really well. So if you're looking for a smaller stealth device, really easy to pocket, nice power level, and something that maybe if you're going to be hiking or biking or a concert or the club, something where a lot of this stuff could get pressed easily, this is going to be a fantastic choice for you. So let me go ahead and take a vape off of it real quick. I am using a 0.25 ohm notch coil for the Cubis Pro tank, and I have that set at 50 watts, which I have found is a really good wattage for these. Something to note, I know it's not the Cubis tank review, but if you are using the Cubis tank, with the notch coils, you need to use like maxed out VG basically. I have a 7030 in here. I've run 8020s in there, and they just start spitting a little bit. So you need to use those 90 plus VGs with those notch coils, or at least these pre-built Cubist notch coils, or else you're going to get some issues. So let me go ahead and take a vape off this real quick. Lots of vapor production. It's really quick to the punch. I haven't had an issue with this. I absolutely love them. So that's it, guys. The Wismec RX75. If you're looking for something single battery, 75 watts, this will be a fantastic device for you. Hey, if you guys liked the video, make sure to hit that like button. For all the latest and greatest videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, you have a wonderful day. Bye now.